Okay. Had your lunch? Hmm?
No.
Srihari, are you thinking whether you had or not? For that too, you have to think a lot.
No, ma'am, had.
All right. I'm feeling really hungry. I did not have my lunch. Once I finish your session, I'll go and have. Okay. So, did you go through the portion which we did in the last class? Hmm? What did we discuss in the previous class? Unmute and tell me. Hmm? Do you remember the title of a story?
Ma'am, the last leaf.
Yes, The Last Leaf. Who is the author?
Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry. What is his full name, actual name?
William
William Sidney
Sidney
Henry.
Potter.
William Sidney Henry.
William
William Sidney
Potter.
Henry. My goodness, what a
William
combination.
Sidney
Ah,
Potter.
William Sidney Potter. Don't say William Sidney Potter. Okay. William Sidney Potter. All right. Then, which is his nationality?
American.
Hmm? He's an
American.
American writer. And what is he popular for? For novels or novellas or fiction?
The
Short.
surprise endings.
Yes, he mainly writes short stories, and the peculiarity of his short story is
Surprise endings.
yes, surprise endings or twisted endings. Now, tell me who are the characters, main characters in our story?
Sue
Hugh
Johnsey.
Johnson, Mr. Bergman.
Behman.
I heard some sound. Yes, who is speaking? Come on.
Hugh Johnson Bergman.
Sue Johnsey, Mr. Bahman. Okay. So I think it is better to ask you individual questions so that I will know how much. Hmm? Okay, we could do only a couple of paragraphs in the last class, but still. Justin, tell me, who was Sue and Johnsey? Where did they live? Children, were you able to hear him? Did you all hear
No.
him? No, connectivity problem.
No,
Said?
ma'am.
Said?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was Sue and Johnsey? Where did they live? Please answer fast. It's a very simple question. Srihari, just remind me to take the attendance towards the end, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Said, do you know the answer? Okay, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to remove the half of the class from the session, and whoever is visible, I need to ask only those students, I think. So I don't have any problem. It's okay. Okay, even if few children are there with me, it's okay for me. I'll teach them. Okay, rest of you can leave my class. Okay. Gauri, tell me.
Sue and Johnsy were two young artists,
Hmm.
and they lived in a small flat
Hmm.
which was situated on top of a story of an old house.
Very good, very good. Almost perfect. Sue and Johnsy were young artists. They shared a small flat, and the flat was on the third story of an old house. Okay, that makes the answer perfect. Now, next question is to Gerlin. What happened to Johnsy? Or why was Johnsy gloomy?
Johnsy fell seriously ill in the month of November.
Mm.
She was affected with the disease pneumonia.
Wow, perfect. This is what I expect. Very simple. Johnsy was seriously ill in the month of November and she was affected with a disease called pneumonia. All right. Next question is to Sania. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What did doctors say after examining Johnsy?
She asked Sue that is anything worrying Johnsy?
Let's consider doctor as a male doctor. Okay. So don't start your answer with a pronoun, but Begin your answer by
The doctor asks you
saying
that
the doctor.
the doctor asks you that is anything worrying Johnsy?
The doctor asked Sue that is there anything worrying Johnsy? And what comment did he make on her health?
The doctor said that it seems that Johnsy it seems that something has made her mind that she is not going to get well. If she doesn't want to leave, medicines will not help her.
Very good, perfect. Well done, Sania. So, doctor remarked that Johnsy has made up her mind that she is not going to live. And if she doesn't want to live, medicines will not work for her. Okay, I think that's what we did in the last class. Just a couple of paragraphs. Am I right?
Ma'am.
Yes. So, shall we continue? I hope all of you have the textbook with you. Take page number 44. We'll continue. So Johnsy was affected with pneumonia. She was seriously ill. So you have to keep in mind that this story, this short story, was written in the year 1907, many years back. Okay, during that time, pneumonia was an epidemic. That means a widespread infectious disease which spread at a particular time in a particular community. So there was less probability or less possibility for a person to recover from the disease. But here, more than the matter of chance of recovery, what is acting as a hindrance for Johnson's recovery? What do you think? What is a factor that is acting as a hindrance for Johnson's recovery?
Mental health.
Yes, her mindset. Her mindset. Johnson's mindset or her negative approach towards life is acting as a hindrance for her recovery. Okay, we'll continue. Sue tried her best to make Johnsy take an interest in things around her. She talked about clothes and fashions, but Johnsy did not respond. Johnsy continued to lie still on her bed. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnsy's room and started painting. To take Johnsy's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. So we find a beautiful friendship between Sue and Johnsy. Sue was very much worried or upset when she realized that her friend has lost her hope or aspiration in living. Sue tried her best to take Johnsy to take interest in the things around her. She talked about clothes. Usually, ladies are so much fond of clothing, accessories. Is it not, girls? Hmm? Are you all fond of clothes, jewelries, accessories, and makeup items and all? Yes. Will you feel happy when your friend discusses you about the same new trendy items? Girls will not open the mouth. I think better to ask boys. Come on, tell me. Yes, yes, of course. I do think you're all interested. So, in order to take the mind, in order to deviate Johnson's mind out of illness, Sue talked about fashion and clothing and so on. But Johnsy did not make any positive response to that. And what did Johnsy do? She continued to lie on her bed for a long time. Once, the moment she fell ill, she started to lie on the bed. She did not even walk around. She did not listen to any of the um, talkings made by Sue. Sue brought her drawing board into Johnson's room and started painting. We know they are artists. So, just to deviate her mind, Sue even brought the drawing board, the canvas, into Johnson's room and started painting. To take Johnson's mind off her illness, she whistled while working. What did Sue do? She even whistled. She made a whistling sound so that Johnsy will not think much about her sickness. Suddenly, Sue heard Johnsy whisper something. She quickly rushed to the bed and heard Johnsy counting backwards. So look at that. Normally we count forward, isn't it? One, two, three, four, five. But here it's so strange to see that Johnsy counting backward. She was looking out of the window and was saying 12. After some time, she whispered 11, then 10, then 9, 8, 7. Sue anxiously looked out of the window. So Sue was so anxious to know that why was John C. counting backward. And when she looked at the window, she saw something. What is that? She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. So, what season is this? Hmm?
Now, autumn season.
Autumn.
Yes, autumn season. And what is the peculiarity of autumn season? What happens
All
during the autumn season?
leaves will shed.
Hmm?
Trees shed
Trees
their leaves.
Yes, trees or plants shed their leaves. Then the climate becomes cold. The leaves changes its color from green to yellow to brown, isn't it? Yes. So since it was autumn season, the ivy creeper was shedding its leaves. Hmm. Let me show you some pics in connection with the story. Okay. Yes. Can you see this? Just a cartoon kind of picture. John C is lying on the bed and Sue is taking care of her. So she's constantly looking out of the window. Okay. And are you able to see a creeper outside the window? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What is a creeper? What is a creeper? Hmm. Tell me. What is a creeper?
Something which make insect which makes sound at night.
Pardon?
Uh,
Not clear.
insect insect which make sound at night.
That is cricket. Cricket, not creeper. Creeper is any kind of a plant that climbs on the wall. Okay. Have you seen money plant?
Yes,
Have you
ma'am.
seen money plant? Money plant can be called as a creeper. Okay. Have you seen ornamental plants or decorative plants which we spread onto the walls? Hmm?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes. So creeper. So here, old ivy creeper. What do you mean by ivy creeper? Has the author used it just for the sake of mentioning a kind of creeper? Or does it symbolize something? Hmm? Ivy creeper. Of course, it symbolizes something, no doubt. What does ivy creeper stands for? Ivy creeper, ivy, ivy symbolizes. I'll share the screen with you. Yes. Ivy symbolizes fidelity, fidelity, and eternal life. Ivy symbolizes fidelity and eternal life. That's one point. The second point, in Egypt, in ancient Egypt, ivy was dedicated. This particular plant, ivy was dedicated. Ivy was dedicated to Osiris, who represented immortality, who represented immortality. Another point in connection with ivy, that is in ancient Greece, G should be capital. In ancient Greece, ivy was a plant of Dionysus. Children, last year when we learned the chapter Lotus Eaters, we discussed the names of gods
Greek
and
goddess.
goddesses, Greek gods and goddesses. Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So who is Dionysus?
God of wine.
Yes, very good. So in ancient Greece, ivy was a plant of Dionysus. Because of its vigor. Because of its vigor. It here means ivy. Okay, because of its vigor. So I'm under the impression that you all know what is meant by fidelity, eternal life, immortality, and vigor. Yes? Nobody's asking me any doubts. Is it clear? No response. All these words are clear to you? Fidelity, eternal life, vigor, immortality, everything is clear, right? No doubts.
No,
I think I
ma'am.
have to ask you questions and I have to answer by myself. What is fidelity? Fidelity. Hmm? Fidelity. Fidelity means when something gets attached, it will not let you go. Fidelity. Eternal life means life forever. Immortality. That means having no death, no end. And vigor. Vigor means energy. So this is what ivy symbolizes. Ivy symbolizes fidelity and eternal life. It represents immortality and it also represents vigor. So, on the whole, we can say that ivy symbolizes hope. Okay, in simple manner, if we say that ivy symbolizes hope. But here, what is the contradiction we find? John C is seeing this ivy creeper as a symbolism of her death. Okay, John C is trying to associate her own life with that of the shedding of leaves of ivy creeper, and she is associating the fallen leaves to her deteriorating health. I hope you are following me. Can I get yes or no from you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, just like every teacher say, Srihari is the entire representative of class 9C. Since he told me yes, I do believe that all of you understood. Okay, so we'll continue. She saw an old ivy creeper climbing halfway up the brick wall opposite their window. In the strong wind outside, the creeper was shedding its leaves. So it's quite common that in the autumn season, the plants or trees shed their leaf. Okay. What is it, dear? Sue asked. Would you like to read? Anyone would like to read? This year, the text which you followed has changed. So 8th standard students are following a different text. Okay, in that text, there is a poem. There is a poem called Phantom Listeners. Okay, Phantom Listeners. That poem is all about a traveler coming to a forest at night, on a moonlit night, and he is knocking at the door of a big mansion and he is expecting somebody else to answer. Okay, so um, he is not getting any response. So he is referring to the creatures inside as phantom listeners. Just like that, I would like to refer to you also as phantom listeners because nobody is responding. Only I'm talking. Hmm? Whenever I do not get a response, I start calling that entire class as phantom listeners. Are you all phantom listeners?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Single response. It's so strange. Anyway, so Stu became worried and he asked, "What is it, dear?" 6, whispered Johnsy. "They're falling faster now. 3 days ago, there were almost 100 leaves. There are only 5 left now." So, how many leaves were there on the creeper a few days back?
100 leaves.
Yes, 100 leaves. And now, how many are remaining?
No,
5.
5.
5. "It is autumn," said Sue, "and the leaves will fall. When the last leaf falls, I will die," said Johnsy with finality. "I have known this for the last 3 days." So look at the pessimistic approach of Johnsy towards life. Johnsy is very, very negative in her thoughts. Okay. If we have fallen ill, if the medicine has to work within our body, Our mind should be active. We have to have hope within ourselves. Okay. If we do not have the will or desire to live, nothing will work. So here, O. Henry has portrayed Johnsy as a character of pessimism, very, very negative in her approach towards life. Oh, that's nonsense, replied Sue. What have old ivy leaves to do with your getting well? The doctor is confident that you will get better. So every now and then, the doctor is coming to the house. He is consulting her. He is giving proper medicine, but medicine is not working. Medicine is not helping to improve Johnson's health, only because of a negative mindset. So Sue is trying to, reassure Johnsy. Oh, what are you talking? You're saying simply rubbish. You're speaking nonsense. What is the connection with the falling of ivy leaves with that of your getting better? Johnsy did not say anything. Sue went and brought her a bowl of soup. I don't want any soup, said Johnsy. I'm not hungry. Now there are only 4 leaves left. I want to see the last one fall before it gets dark. Then I will sleep forever. Okay, so all the dialogue spoken by Johnsy is fully negative. She says that I don't want any soup. We find a very, affectionate caretaker in Sue. Sue is not only Johnsy's best friend, but she's also acting as like a mother or a sister or somebody more than that. She's taking utmost care of Johnsy's health. She's preparing food, she's giving a soup. Everything is provided to Johnsy, but Johnsy is reluctant to intake any food or any medicine. But she's constantly looking out of the window to see that the leaves are fallen one after the other. And now only 4 leaves are remaining on the creeper. And she says that when the last leaf falls, she will also die. And she's waiting to see the last leaf falling. And then she will go to eternal sleep. Sue sat on Johnsy's bed. Shall I continue? Is that okay for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Sue sat on Johnsy's bed, kissed her, and said, You're not going to die. I can't draw the curtain, for I need the light. I want to finish the painting and get some money for us. Please, my dear friend. She begged Johnsy, Promise not to look out of the window while I paint. So, why she has to get some money? Hmm?
For the medicines.
Why? Why she has to get some money? To buy some clothes or accessories? Hmm? What is the reason?
I'm to buy the medicines for
Yes.
Johnson.
For Johnsy's treatment. She want to get some medicine for Johnsy's treatment so that she need money. So the only job that they are familiar with is painting. They are young artists. So she has to paint and then to get some money. So she says, I can't draw the curtain for I need the light. Once she draw the curtain, it becomes dark inside the room. Okay. So let me have some light for the painting. And she begs, she pleads, do not look out of the window, my dear, while I paint. What happens if she look at the window outside? Hmm.
Therefore the leaves are falling. So she
Everyone in INC is taking so much advantage. Oh, Srihari is there to respond, so why we have to? See, I know to call each and everyone individually to get an answer, but I'm not doing that. Maybe sometimes you sit, just like a statue, to give me an impression that, ma'am, I have got a network problem. Okay, what is the reason? What is the reason why she is pleading John C. not to look out of the window? What happens if she look out? Bin? Ah, look at that. He got stuck. Maybe in reality, I do not know. Sean, Would you also sit like a statue?
No, ma'am.
Yes, tell me. Give me the answer.
If she
Why
look
does
out,
Sue please John C. not to look out of the window?
if she look out
Many
the
dreamers
window,
are there in my class. Speak loudly.
if she look out of the window while she's drawing,
You're not well? Your sound has changed? Hmm?
no, ma'am.
No. Then speak clearly.
If she look out of the window,
Hmm.
she will get an intention to
Hmm.
see the last leaf falling.
Yes, if she looks out of the window, she will get negative thoughts in her mind. Okay. Half of the answer was filled by me. Anyway, thank you. All right, said John C. Finish your painting soon, for I want to see the last leaf fall. I'm tired of waiting. I have to die. So let me go away peacefully, like one of those poor, tired leaves. So, for a short period of time, John C. agrees. Okay, okay, I'm not going to look out of the window. Since you have to paint, I will lie down where I am. But finish off your painting fast. I'm waiting for my death. Okay? I'm tired of waiting. I have to die. And I want to go away peacefully like one of those poor, tired leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I have to paint an old miner. I will call Bahman up to be my model. What do you mean by a miner? Miner, miner. Hmm? Phantom listeners, wake up, wake up. Miner.
Is it like the miner who or mines ores and
Yes, a person who works in mine factory. Okay. So Sue is planning to paint a miner, and for that she need Bahman as her model. Have you seen artists or painters drawing the people exactly how they are? Have you seen them drawing?
Yes, ma'am.
I have an uncle. He's an artist. Okay. He would just exactly draw all the exact unique features of us if we give our photo or if we just go and sit in front of him simply. Artist. That's a great talent, a unique talent. So Sue wanted to paint a miner, and for that he needs a model. And whom is she planning to call?
Mr. Bahman.
Bahaman, yes, Mr. Bahaman, the third character in our story, and he plays a very significant role in life of John C. Few more minutes are left. Let me complete that paragraph also. Yeah. Sue rushed down. Bahaman lived on the ground floor. So the flat is a rented one. Sue and John C. both of them are staying on the third story of the building, and Bahaman is staying on the ground floor. Okay. And the author is giving us a few details about Bahman. He was 60-year-old painter. He was a 60-year-old painter. His lifelong dream was to paint a masterpiece, but that had been a dream, that had remained a dream. What is a masterpiece? Hmm? Masterpiece.
an
Masterpiece,
art which is unique in its way
yes,
and
can be
is
um,
rare.
okay, it can be a music or it can be an artwork or it can be a literary work. Okay, anything which is unique in its form. A work done with extraordinary skill. A work that is done with extraordinary skill, especially a supreme intellectual or artistic achievement. So, Bahman's biggest dream or his ambition in life was to paint a masterpiece. Can you give me an example for a masterpiece work? Hmm? Have you heard about great painter Leonardo da Vinci? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is his masterpiece? Here it is. Identify the painting.
Mona Lisa.
Yes, Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa is a masterpiece work done by Leonardo da Vinci. This is a man. Okay. And what about Raja Ravi Verma? Yes, a celebrated Indian painter and artist, Raja Ravi Verma. And here I have some of his masterpiece works. Okay, it's very beautiful to look at. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So these are some of the examples for masterpiece artistic works. All right. So Bahman's great dream, lifelong dream, or his ambition was to paint a masterpiece, but it was still remaining as a dream. Sue poured out her worries to Bahman. She told him how Johnsy was convinced that she would die when the last leaf fall. So Sue did not have anybody else to open up her worries or her thoughts. So when she went to meet Mr. Bahman to call him to be her model as a minor, she shared all her feelings and emotions and also the illness of Johnsy. All right? Is the portion clear to you, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm winding up here. We will continue the rest of the story in the next class. Okay? I will be sending few questions through WhatsApp. Read the text, read the portion as many times as possible and write answers by yourself. Okay? And as I told you in the beginning, this is the last class of 2020. I'll meet you all the next year. So advanced New Year wishes to everyone. May the coming year be a prosperous and a bright year ahead. Okay. Wishing you happy 2021. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.